Hey, Coach, how you doing?
I'm great, buddy. How are you?
I'm okay. Your players mentioned this earlier in the week. Few of the players, excuse me. I know you talked about it. Even though you've had a disappointing couple of weeks, everything is in front of you as far as your goal is playing postseason in a bowl game. At this point of the season, when you have those kind of rough weeks, what's your approach? I mean, it's almost like you have to be part football coach, part psychologist with your players. Kind of how do you approach them so they don't get too negative, that they continue to do their jobs and focus on the end goal?
Yeah, I think that's a great point. I think you got to look at the big picture. You got to understand, what your goals are. And the fact that they're all still in front of you and they're all still available to you is a great motivator without question. But you can also get caught up in the discouragement of not having recent success here last couple of weeks. And so, bottom line is you have to remind them of what we are, what we do have in front of us, and to be able to focus on the process, the daily process, and the consistency of your preparation and the little things every day to be able to create a change that you're looking for. On game day, which is obviously what the objective is, as a football team. So, I just think it's just keeping them grounded, meet with some guys one-on-one, you meet with your leaders, having them and go out and impact the team. And you have your 11 position groups, those coaches all doing the same thing, the consistent messaging of, what it's about us focusing on what we can control, which is our effort every day, how we prepare every day to be able to understand that, yes, these are our goals for the season. These are out here in front of us, and we got to do everything we can do to be able to keep bringing energy, to have that, grit to you that allows you to just have that perseverance and passion towards those goals. And you just do not get discouraged. You don't doubt yourself. You just stay the course. Is that hard to do? Absolutely. That's why you have to spend so much time just individually addressing it. But man, just you bring the energy, you bring the focus, and you let the guys follow that lead.
Second.
Tom, excuse me, I recognize this may not be a question for this week specifically, but with Dexter, you're kind of in this position where maybe long-term you didn't quite expect to be. You talked about how you thought in all likelihood he'd be out for the year and he was able to move faster, but you also want to protect him and not sort of put him out too early. Are there things that you, whether it's, in consult with the position coach, with training staff, whatever, are there things that basically you're going to need him to kind of prove to you, to almost check off a list before you can say, okay, we're ready to maybe give you the opportunity for bulk snaps this season?
Yeah, I think that's an accurate way to progress this. He's gone from, to physically getting himself back. You get cleared from the doctors, and then, okay, now it's like, okay, the mental side of it, where you're at in your preparation. And as we said before, he, went from dressing, during warm-ups and doing that whole activity to then he'd come out and, and not in uniform to be able to help us signal and do different things on game day and be a part of the process. And then not in this past week, he was emergency guy for us, and we did give him some more reps and did some things in practice just to continue to bring him along. So it is a step-by-step process we're going through, because I just want to make sure that he feels really good about himself and his ability to be able to be out there. And because you're right, this is one of those things where a year ago we thought that we may lose him for the whole season, and then that obviously has gradually changed, and so he's way further ahead than any of us thought. So, but I want to make sure that he's fully ready to go. And so definitely building through that, going through that, growing through that. And I think you can just see each week he gets more and more confidence in both his knee and his ability to get out there and play.
Check and Jim.
Hey, Tom. Rutgers ranks towards the top of the Big Ten in a lot of defensive categories this season. Just when you watch them on film, what do you see about how they've had success defensively?
Yeah, they got good in the core. They're big and strong, good length at backer. They really are disciplined in their fits. They're pretty simple, they play really hard. They're good tacklers. I think that's, they kind of just keep things in front of them, try not to give up big plays and make you earn everything that you're going to get. And I think that's it's just really worked well for them. And they've been able to have, good success defensively and setting up their offense in a good way with some takeaways as well as just key stops. So, but I think it's just the fundamental fundamentals, playing. They got a lot of seasoned guys that have been there with them, in a system that they've played in, for several guys that played in that system for many years. And you can just see the benefits of that. And then the secondary, they're good tacklers, on the perimeter and tough physical guys. I think there's a toughness to them that Coach Shiano's brought there that's evident, and I think they take a lot of pride in that, which is something you respect as a coach and as a team. So I just think it's just good fundamentals. Don't make a lot of mistakes. Make you have to earn everything, and then try to force you into a mistake.
Jimmy and Daniel.
Tom, thank you for doing this. We appreciate you. With the quarterback carousel again of late, how hard is it managing an offense when they don't seem to have a clear leader in that category, which is what you want on the field?
Yeah, I think the biggest thing is, you got two talented young guys that are growing and developing and working through this together, and they've been awesome with each other, which is not easy to do. And I think there's no question, they both have gotten lots of reps in practice throughout, fall camp and the spring, and into this season. And so just being able to have a situation where you have a system in place that doesn't have to be modified really at all for either guy that's in the game. And so I think that's really the benefit of it. But obviously the challenge is like you said, that one consistent person. So just want to grow to that, want to get to that. There's no question about it. And so just working hard to that end to be able to have it to where there's the one guy that they look to be their guy, and that's really the goal for us.
Daniel and Mike.
Yeah, after Akron, you mentioned maybe some schematic adjustments in terms of limiting the QB run. I'm curious with the challenges that Wimsatt presents on the ground, how you feel like you guys have improved against the QB in the last 2 weeks.
Well, there's different types of the way that you would run a quarterback. Probably the hardest is just when he just scrambles, and he creates out of, not necessarily a designed quarterback run, a guy that's real elusive and when he drops back to pass and then makes a guy miss and then he's out the gate. So that's really what, we've had some of that, and that's given us some issues in containing him in that. And then there's the pure quarterback design runs where they gain an extra hat in the box because he's running the ball. And, and Rutgers does some unique things where the backer that he fakes to becomes a lead blocker, on that play. It's kind of like almost an ISO type play. So that's where it creates a little, so you just got to be able to numbers game. You got to gain that number back when they're doing stuff like that. So they create that. He obviously does have the ability when he drops back to run the ball. He's done that at times as well. So he's big. He's a physical guy. And he's got long speed, So just think he's young, but he's gifted without question. He has a strong arm, so he can beat you with his arm. And but at the same time, he has the ability to run the football. So he has the uniqueness to be able to have quarterback design runs in their arsenal as well as creating, in the throw game. So obviously been a point of emphasis for us, the last several weeks, and continues to be, and will always be. And we got to be disciplined in our run fits. We got to be able to get the numbers right, and we got to do a great job of tackling him because he's big and strong.
Mike, last one.
Yeah, Tom, you made a decision about who will start on Saturday, and if you could, what were sort of the deciding factors for you and go whatever direction you decide to go?
Yeah, to me, it's just, obviously we know what we're doing with that position, and just be able to have a guy to get out there and play with confidence, and be able to lead our offense and execute and do a great job of putting together a game plan that he feels good with and can do a great job of allowing us to move down the field and score points. We got to stay on the field. We got to be able to execute in third downs. We got to be smart in those situations, do a great job of playing good team football and good team defense and good team offense and good team special teams, all three phases working together. So we want that quarterback position, and we're trying to do a great job as a staff to help him and everything we can to help him make good decisions and help him be able to have enough on his plate to be multiple, but also simple enough to be able to allow him to execute at a high level. So we got to move the football on game day on this Saturday, and we got to score points in order to win. Have an awesome day, Elio. One more.
Mike, double Mike. Mike, shoot.
All right. Who we got here?
Yeah. Hey, Coach, speaking of moving the football, I've heard you talk about tempo a couple of times this week with Rod leading the way here. I know you don't want to give too much away with game plan, but kind of just big picture, where are you philosophically with tempo, with this offense, how it fits with your personnel and maybe complements your defense?
Yeah, I think more than that word's an interesting word, that people use and I use, and I think that the thing about it is the multiplicity of it is really, I think, is really what I would love to be able to maximize, as a team, to where you have different tempos that you utilize and use as an offense, and to be able to keep the defense off balance and on their heels in regards to different types of tempo. And that to me is really what I see us, building and growing to. And with Coach Carey and I, a lot of our conversations and being able to maximize was for the very reason of what you said, to help complement the defense, complement your personnel, and allow us to be able to maximize it, And so I think that's probably the best way to say it without giving away too many things. But I think that's a great question, and I think it's definitely, the direction we're going.
All right, thanks, Tom.
All right, there we go. Have a great day, Elio.